Sounds likely for everyday
You really got to
use.
bang
You're
on
not,
it to notice the difference.
Yeah, you're not going to put it on the drag strip maybe. Turbo makes it fun. Ride and handling, sporty yet comfortable, handles well. I don't think anything could use improvement on it. Base trim price is $33,100. Price is tested $34,700. Base model price for the entry level, this is where it strikes home. $21,150 for a base model.
Not bad.
Mazda 3.
Mazda 3.
That's a great price.
I know it is. Now, competitors, Honda Civic for $25,550. These are starting prices. Toyota Corolla, $20,425. And the Hyundai Elantra for $20,200.
Well, I was expecting the Elantra to pop in under 20.
Were you really?
Yeah.
No, that's kind of low.
I think
Just because the Hyundais and the Kias have always been slightly lower than the Japanese imports.
I think the
But I
days
guess
of under 20 are gone.
Yeah.
I just don't think that that's going to happen again anytime soon. Well, I did want to mention that we have had some sort of issue with we're streaming. Well, it only took an hour and a half. What streaming?
Hour 26.
I'm not bragging. I'm just telling everybody that we've had all sorts of problems with YouTube
David.
and Facebook. And David's shooting me the finger beside his
That's why nobody
nose.
likes him.
Nobody likes him, but that's okay. The end wheel, are you? Well, you hear, we can put you on camera. There it is right there.
There it is.
Yeah, I know.
Oop, there it is.
So anyway, apparently all those problems are now fixed. Welcome to Half a Show. The In-Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeartRadio app and Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In-Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/InWheelTimeCarTalk.
Howdy, and welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show here on iHeartRadio. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday morning. We are coming to you live today from the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social. And you know, when Serene called me and said, we're going to have a car social, will you guys come? I said, absolutely. And I thought, car social, you know, of all the things, coffee and cars, coffee, cigars, coffee and chrome, now we've got a car social. I like the vibe about that, because really, if you stop and think about it, that's what these cruise-ins are all about, really. I mean, granted, it's surrounding your car, and we all have this same passion for cars. We like our cars, whether you've done anything to them or not. If you just washed it, bring it on. Yeah, it's fun.
And you talk about your car, you talk about other people's cars. You know, you get to see what people have done to their cars and the differences between theirs and the exact same model right next to them, just to see, you know, maybe somebody did a different set of wheels and tires. You know, that's the social part of it.
Yeah. So Mr. Mars has decided to join us after an hour and a half of dicking around with this thing over here. Did I say that?
Still can't hear you, but
you don't have to worry about.
You won't hear him.
You don't have to worry about listening to me.
you'll just holler loud enough I can hear you.
Hey, Mike. Mike's got a car review he's been dying to do. So
I have been. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
I bet you have.
It's a 2023 Cadillac Escalade B Series.
Oh my gosh.
B Series.
Oh my gosh.
Don't touch it.
And he did this and did not let us know he
Well,
had
it just didn't work out to where I could bring it over here, but I was really going to.
Horse hockey.
So what we're really talking about is a luxury. It's a premium luxury SUV, full size, big rig, and it happens to be the fifth generation of the Escalade. And for 2023, the V Series is new for 2023. It's the first time they've offered it in the Escalade. So from the outside, it looks a whole lot like a regular Escalade. It's got the grill up front where you're going to have the Cadillac emblem right in the middle of the grill. And to me, the outline of the grill, it's blacked out, and it looks about like that Cadillac emblem. So it's a real nice framing. Makes a really good look up front on this. Of course, it's got LED lighting all around it. It came with a sunroof, got a hands-free power lift gate on it, rolling on some 22-inch, 18-spoke wheels.
Beautiful.
Really nice look. But where I really took away with this thing was on the get into the inside of it, the technology that they've put into this vehicle. I mean, you've got the dark auburn black trim and leather seating surfaces, and it's almost like a patchwork type thing. It's kind of different, but it's a semi-aniline leather. And the front seats are heated and ventilated. The second row bucket seats are heated, and the third row is a power folding 60/40. Now, up front, when you're sitting in the driver's seat, you've got almost the whole dash is nothing but technology, because you start out with a 7.5-inch control panel over on the left-hand side. You come across into a 14.2-inch cluster screen for the driver where you're going to have all your gauge and stuff, and then you've got this 16.2-inch infotainment center. So you've got about 30-something inches across here of just technology. And at night, it lights up with all the LED lighting. It's looking at a cityscape in the nighttime with all the lights. It's beautiful.
Nice. It's Cadillac.
It's got a rear seat infotainment system. Got the rear view mirror. Has the camera in it, which I'm really starting to like a lot.
In the mirror.
In the mirror. And this thing has got a 36-speaker audio system in it that will knock your socks off. And then it gets down to the V-Series special start part of it. So, again, this is new for 2023, but it has the 6.2-liter supercharged V8, 668 horsepower. It's backed by a 10-speed transmission. Properly equipped, this vehicle will tow 8,200 pounds. Now, I want to tell you that with this vehicle, one of the most interesting things in it, because the fuel economy is not so hot, but you can literally sit on the front porch with your favorite beverage, turn that 36-speaker audio system up to where you could hear it nice and listen to it very nicely, and then reach over with the remote start on that key fob and fire that supercharged engine up, and it just blurps a couple of times automatically. It goes, boom, blah, 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 and then you turn it off.
How does it
go? A few minutes later, start it again.
How does it go again?
Yeah, how does it go?
Yeah, like that. So you just sit there and listen to the stereo and start it all night, and have your favorite beverage.
Jimmy Buffett.
So, and I say that because the EPA on it rating says that you should get about 11 in the city, Highway 16, and combined 13.
they're not going to build very many of them, so it's
No.
not going to have an impact.
And I will say I didn't get to put that many miles. I only put 225 miles on it.
Because you're cheap and didn't want to buy all that gas.
Well, no, it's just time because I didn't have time to drive it over here and show you guys.
why not?
Well, because we were at
that's
Woody's,
why he
and I would
wouldn't
have to
drive it
take
over.
everything out of the truck and put it in there and then redo it all. I just
You know,
that was too much work for
He
you
hid
guys.
it from
one,
us.
you're a liar, and number two is, the stories that you tell about the reason we can't see the car. Well, okay, whatever it is that you come up with.
Thank you.
Kind of like one of my ex-wives. Just come up with anything. I
One
did
of
it.
the-
It's all
one
my
of
One of
fault.
the three. Well, I guess I'm in good company. I guess there's the majority of us anyway. So anyway, this thing's got plenty of power. It's great riding. It's got the magnetic ride control, and it is really the best. You set this thing out on the highway, and you do things that you shouldn't be doing in the speedway.
Oh, God.
If you're looking for something to compare it to, I mean, you're going to have to look over at the Mercedes GLS or the GMC Yukon, even the Ford Expedition. But they
Yeah,
can't.
but at Mercedes, you're going to have to look at the AMG version.
Yeah, you're not going to
Nobody
find
has
that
anything
power.
with this kind of.
And then even in the AMG, you're not going to find the size. I mean, you're not
True.
going to be able to
I've
tow
heard
the
that before.
8,200 pounds. So, anyway, again, this is brand new for 2023. It only has $575 worth of options. Everything else is standard on this vehicle.
$575 worth of options.
Yes, and the particular one we have, when they set it up, they saved $50 because they didn't have the express up windows on the back, on the second row, on the second row windows.
What's MSRP on this? Total?
I'm working my way up to that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hold your
Would you,
breath.
you care to take a guess?
Yeah,
Tax title? I mean, destinations
120.
included. 150,565.
$150,000 for a Cadillac Escalade
As
series.
yes, with
I'll
the
take
And
destination.
that's MSRP.
Let me add
That
two.
doesn't
MSRP.
count
Any kind of
any
dealer
kind of dealer
markup
additional profit.
or yes.
Do not pay dealer markup. Do not do that.
Somebody
No,
will.
no one should ever pay dealer markup over MSRP.
No, I
Ever.
agree. No. I mean, 'cause now you're talking
No,
about.
yeah, I know that
Turns
you're not
this into
saying
160,
anything.
There are some
170.
cars you
No.
won't be able to buy.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well, then
then you
don't
don't.
buy it.
Yeah, true.
But again, this has got all the luxury of the Cadillac, the Escalade, and
I had a
everything, but it's
friend-
got the power
I had
to go
a friend
with it.
of mine that paid $3,000 over sticker for a Subaru Outback or one of those Subarus. I said, don't do that. Well, the daughter really likes the car, and no, because there's a car just like that. You may have to drive 50 or 60 miles out of the way.
Somebody else is selling it.
Somebody else in an outlying dealership somewhere has got that very same car, and they'll sell it to you for
And
MSRP.
you're $3,000 upside down to start the day.
Yeah. And we went over this with our guest last week
Yeah.
about all of that, so do not pay.
Well, I remember when I was working for General Motors and the Cadillac XLR V Series came out, which
Oh, yeah.
was the supercharged North Star in basically a Corvette chassis
Yep.
and a Cadillac body on it. And that was the first vehicle GM ever sold that was over $100,000. And, oh, my gosh, everybody freaked out. Now they're selling Suburbans over $100,000 and Escalade V Series over $150,000. But I don't think they're going to make more than
They
1,000,
won't need to
2,000.
because they'll sell every one that they
Oh,
build.
yeah, absolutely.
But I bet you they won't make more than 1,500
Because
days in a year.
driving it was really like other than keeping your foot out of it, was really driving an Escalade, except you have this beautiful roar coming out from under the hood. And there was more
Now-
than enough power there to do whatever you want to do.
Now, you not putting your foot into it?
I did
again,
not say me. I'm talking about people that actually buy this
I was
car.
going to say Pinocchio because that is just not going to
No.
come.
How was the
I can
on-ramp
assure you-
performance test?
I put my foot in this one just about as far as I could
Did
put
you
it.
light the tires on it?
Did not.
Was it
I
all-wheel
was
drive or
afraid-
rear-wheel drive?
That was all-wheel drive, and I figured you might break something, so I didn't do that.
Not
Well,
on
you
a
broke your
Cadillac.
foot.
Yeah.
I guess.
But it wasn't on that.
That's how he broke his
And
foot.
that's the first thing my wife said when I called her and said, well, it is broke. She said, is it your right foot, your accelerator foot? I said, no. She said, too bad.
Yeah,
No, it's his brake foot.
his brake foot. Mhm. So when he's got the red and blue lights going on behind him, he knows to ease on those brakes and do a brake check.
Just
on
heel
it.
and toe.
Yeah.
Mike. Heel and toe.
Heel and
Heel
toe
and
it.
toe, heel and toe.
And you can't break anything.
But,
in a
So
Cadillac.
I'm
you
just
liked
telling
it, though.
Well, Again, I'm amazed at the price, but the drive of it, the magnetic ride control, and the power.
Why are you
the smooth
amazed
power
at the
with the
price?
10-speed?
The
It's just
magnetic
amazing.
ride control, anywhere GM has used it's been spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
So spectacular, other manufacturers are buying it from General Motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works so well. And what a difference a day makes on that deal. If you have the opportunity to have that on your car, get
Order,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Regardless
I think
of
it's
the
a
cost.
like $1,500 option. Ooh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's standard on this vehicle, so I can't even see an option
Everything's
price
It's
on
a
it.
standard
Cadillac.
on this.
Yeah.
But,
come
I
on,
mean, you know,
Jeff.
even if you got a
Gee
regular
whiz.
Escalade, like you say, with a 6.2 without the supercharger on it, I mean, you're going to have plenty of juice.
Well, maybe it'll still be in the press fleet by the time I get back to the GM cars. And if that's the case, then you and I are going on a road trip,
Oh,
Jeffrey.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll go to Mike's house.
Yeah.
No, you
No,
won't.
we will not.
Yeah, we're going to go on a trip to Nederland.
You go on it every day.
That's
Every
where
week.
you really want to go.
Beautiful
Escalade.
downtown Nederland.
Yeah.
You can't come up with something
You can
better
go
than
see
that.
the spindle
you're in
top.
trouble.
We'll hook
Spindle
up
top
some
Derek.
Jimmy Buffett on those 800 speakers, and yeah.
Jimmy Buffett.
31 speakers.
30, there you
36, excuse me. I'll have to check my notes. Yes, 36.
36 speakers.
go. Same age as his wife.
36.
Yeah.
Hardly. No offense, Becky, and I
I
know that
can't
you're
afford
listening.
a 36-year-old wife, I can assure you.
Okay, well, I think we need to stop this conversation
do.
right now because I see
We're
it
all
coming
in
off the
trouble.
tracks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll,
Okay.
we'll all be in the same boat Don is. We go on multiple ex-wives.
Thank you for that. You know, it's always good to have a reassuring friend or two in
In the crowd.
the peanut gallery.
If
Yes.
it's
Doing
not
our
Mike, it's
best to help
Conrad.
you out.
Just
there,
want to
bud.
remind everybody that if you would like to get in touch with us, not you guys, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the In Wheel Time racing calendar. We're kind of winding down the season of racing.
Yep, we are. You know,
Quickly.
and right now Erica is P1 at Ennis.
Oh, she is.
She was P1 last night after first round of qualifying. She's still P1 after second round of qualifying. So NHRA is in Ennis this weekend. Next weekend, 2 weeks from now, they're going to be in Las Vegas. And then the finals are going to be in Pomona. NASCAR this weekend is in Las Vegas. Then the following weekend, they go to Homestead. Formula One next weekend is in Austin at Circuit of the Americas.
What?
Jeff's got season tickets.
I'm taking my Escalade V out there. That's what I'm
Okay.
going to do.
Well, and you can watch Max Verstappen, the two-time world champion.
Verstappen.
I'm going to help Hamilton carry his purse.
That's Davey Hamilton.
And then after, Davey Hamilton. And then after the 23rd, on the 30th, they go to Mexico City. On November 13th, they're in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And then on November 20th, Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And then a lot of the other racing series are over. And then up in Ennis, Dale Holquist went out in stock eliminator in the second round, went out in super stock in the first round. The Emmons brothers, Jerry went out in round one.
Oh, no.
Speedy, Harvey, and the rest of the crew are still in after round two of eliminations.
How's Stan do?
I didn't see.
Okay.
To
But
be
I'll go
determined.
look.
We'll find out.
Let me ask you something. What would you consider the worst potholed city in our area?
The what?
You. Potholes.
Oh.
The worst potholed city in our area.
I would say Houston itself.
What, would you?
Yeah, I would easily say Houston. All
You
by
know, it's funny
itself.
because I think that our illustrious mayor ran on the last time he ran for mayor, and it wasn't automatically given the, go-ahead to, do another 2 years and 2 years and 2 years. I believe that he ran on that, and I think that's why
On
he
fixing
won.
the potholes?
Yeah, fixing the potholes. Well, he fixed them once, but, potholes have a tendency to reappear.
Redevelop.
There is one on my way home on Monroe that I swear to you, and I'm not kidding, they have fixed this pothole in the past 4 years at least 10 times. and it's so bad.
17 people around kicking pebbles in it, and one guy actually in there doing the work. The rest are all supervisors watching.
They're holding
what a
their
waste
shovels
of,
down.
What a
Well,
waste of
now
money.
it's gotten so bad that it's actually broken the panel. The panel has sunken, and you have 2 potholes basically to go over, 2 lumps in the concrete. So wrong on so many levels. I just don't understand. Why don't they fix it right the first time? Because now that they've gone 10 times fixing this thing, they could have paid for a whole new panel and fixed it the right way, like Sugarland does.
But then they don't have more work to do.
Oh, they've got tons of work to do.
But this is all about staying at work. This isn't about fixing the problem.
Well, anyway, so I kind of lead into Jeff's story about the worst potholed cities in America.
Jeff, where's the best pot? in
Well, we're
America?
going to do the 10 cities. Houston is not in this. So
I'm
fortunately,
surprised.
we are not
And
in
we're going to
this.
start at 10.
We're going to start at 10 and go to number 1. So number 10 is New York. Only 34% of the roads in New York are actual drivable roads. The rest do have other kind of maintenance.
Now you're talking about New York City or New York State?
New York, period. New York State. These are the states that have the worst roads. So according to the survey,
cities. I'm sorry.
according to the survey, they're states. Some residents blame their terrible road conditions on a lack of funding, botched repair jobs, among other factors
Mario
being
Cuomo.
traffic and congestion, lack of state and local funding, not enough highway and bridge maintenance. Number 9 is Michigan with only 38%
Where
of
they
their
make
roads.
I believe that. I've driven through Detroit. What a train
Michigan
wreck that
roads are in
place
poor
is.
condition because of potholes, poor road planning, seasonal disruptions, which I guess is snow, according to the state's residents. Some attributed the road conditions to the government's use of salt to melt the winter ice on the roads, as well as combination of heavy traffic, poor infrastructure, lack of funding, and that's a common thread, freeze and thaw cycles during winter months. That all takes part of it. Number 8 is Louisiana, which has only 36% of the roads in actual good condition to drive. Louisiana has 1,634 bridges, over 3,410 miles of highway in poor condition. Since 2011, commute times have increased by 9.3% overall through the state. Drivers pay an average of $667 per year in driving road maintenance. In other words, their taxes are $667. This is anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on what state you live in, for your money to go to roads. So that was number 8. Number 7 is New Jersey, with 44% of the roads. Jersey, forget about it.
Jersey, where the boys go choip, choip.
Choip, choip. Despite relatively high infrastructure spending, excuse me, New Jersey residents are grouchy about their streets and highways.
They're grouchy about everything.
Especially in the urban areas. Not only are the roads bad, but are also in dangerous conditions. According to the recent New Jersey State Police data, poor conditions in New Jersey include severe potholes and uneven or unfinished pavement, lots of construction, and not enough sidewalks. Why would sidewalks be part of a road? I mean, you got to walk somewhere, right?
Because in Jersey, you drive on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay. Number 6 is South Dakota. Who would have thunk it?
Oh, I wouldn't have picked South Dakota.
Well, it's number 6. 48% of the roads are in drivable condition. Governor Kristi Noem is hoarding all the coronavirus money until she figures out a way to spend it on her roads, according to the Dakota Free Press.
Oh, well, that's a left-leaning
Poor
whack
infrastructure.
job.
Not enough maintenance on rural roads, bad lighting, and slippery road conditions.
A left-leaning whack job. That's the quote you on that.
That's not part of my thing here.
There's no lean to that. That is a fallen down left-winger.
Number 5 is Massachusetts, with 37% of the roads in viable condition. Many residents blame severe winter weather and snowplows for the bumps and potholes. Others say the road conditions are better than they were a few years ago, but they're generally ranked poorly due to harsh winters and road salt, poor maintenance and repairs, uneven asphalt, tough on tires. You bet. Number 4, California.
Really?
22%.
California.
22% of the roads are in viable condition. The city recently started a huge project of making new medians pretty instead of actually working on the roads. They have huge potholes and deterioration everywhere. Some of the cities are better than others. Los Angeles, San Diego, Fresno residents rate their roads much higher than those in Oakland, Berkeley, San Bernardino, and for those worse off road condition includes potholes, cracks, rough surfaces, sinking roadways, traffic and construction, lack of proper maintenance. Number 3 is Wisconsin. Wisconsin has 25% of the roads, and you're going to hear a common thread on this one as well. Wisconsin recently received a C on its infrastructure report card. The Badger State has 198 bridges, more than 1,949 miles of highway in poor condition. Drivers pay about $550 a year in their taxes for roads. Extreme weather and lack of funding could be to blame. According to the survey, Wisconsinites say the streets are bad due to holes and cracks in the street, overall traffic levels, trash all over the sidewalks.
Trash on the sidewalks.
Welcome to Milwaukee.
Number 2, Hawaii.
Really?
Aloha. About 1/3 of all Hawaii's roads are in bad shape, which could be due to generally underbuilt roadway systems. The Aloha State has fewer roadway miles than any other state per capita. Hawaii residents who rate their roads poorly gave the following reason: potholes and uneven pavement, traffic and congestion, bad lighting, and few guardrails.
Think about it. There actually is an interstate highway in Hawaii.
Yeah. Rather it's inter. Yeah.
It's an interstate highway with the blue and red signage.
Yep.
I don't know what state they connect to. State of confusion. Have you ever been on the road to Hana?
I've been on the highway to hell. Number 1 is
And I've been there right there with you all
I
the
think
way.
we carpooled.
We did. Yeah.
Number 1 is, drum roll, Rhode Island. Nearly half of Rhode Island's urban roads
How
on the
ironic.
national highway
Rhode
system.
Island.
It's getting to that. Due to 170 inches per mile of the International Roughness Index. In other words, it's 170 inches variance when you drive down the road. It could be up to that level.
170 inches.
Yep.
It's like a 12-foot drop.
Yeah. There are about 150 bridges, more than 860 highway miles considered in poor condition by the federal government.
That's the whole state.
Pretty much.
The whole state's smaller than the city of Houston.
Only 27% of the roads are in good condition. Relatively low highway maintenance budget. Moisture from rain and snow pushing through the pavement, creating gaps between the road and the ground. There's a variance in there. And then frequent extreme weather events.
But they have real good Italian food.
They do. Now, the top
In
10,
Providence.
God's
the
sakes.
top 10 best roads are Vermont, Nevada, Georgia, New Hampshire, Idaho, Florida, Kentucky, North Dakota, Alabama, and the number 1 state with the best roads is Kansas.
I think that's a 63 Chevrolet that just pulled in.
Yep.
I like it.
An SS.
Kansas is the best.
Kansas has the best roads according to
Because they're all
Well,
flat.
there's no hills.
Yeah.
And they got a great football team.
They're playing today. They're playing OU today.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
talking
no.
about the Kansas City Chiefs.
You should talk about the chefs, Kansas City chefs.
Okay.
Kansas City Chefs. Well, it's better than the Cleveland Steamers.
Well, there was a Super Bowl commercial years ago where they were having the guy that was painting the end zone and he misspelled it. He put chefs at Kansas City Chefs, and he had to redo the whole. It was a fun commercial.
And I think they're the the Cleveland Commanders. Is that what they are?
I know.
Yes.
They're
But
Indians
why
to me.
didn't
Come on.
why didn't they name them the Cleveland Steamers, and have the poop emoji as the icon there?
The poop emoji. Well, what they change the Washington Redskins to?
They changed them to the Washington
Capitals?
No.
No, not Generals. No.
I think they're the Commanders. I think the Cleveland
the
is something else.
You got the internet.
Yeah, we'll find.
Anyhow,
we'll find
this is a
it.
car show. Let's move on.
Call in at 1-900.
Well, thank you for the worst potholed states in America. I had cities.
Good to know
here.
we're not part of it.
Let me just look at something here, just real quick.
Did I put cities or states?
Well, I'm gonna look because no, Mars has cities. That's why I put cities.
6 what?
Cities. He doesn't even know what we're talking about.
He can't
We're-
hear.
No.
Is it your birthday, Jeffrey?
No, why?
Close to it?
It says top 10.
What are you talking about?
Oh, George wished you a happy birthday.
Oh,
Oh, Jeff Heitzman.
no,
Not you.
Jeff Heisman. Yeah.
It's Heitzman's birthday. Happy birthday, Heitzman.
It was all
We'd
over the
sing, but everybody'd hang up.
Hang up. Well, that's pretty much it because I think that we're on a one of those cup and string kind of connections today, aren't
Yep,
we?
sort of, kind of.
The In-Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeartRadio app, Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast channel when we can get all of the strings and cups attached, which took us an hour and a half this morning. You know, we talked about Michigan. I love this story because I'm not and never have been a fan of Carvana. Used vehicle retailer Carvana facing another setback. Had its license suspended by Michigan last week for repeated violations covering titles, registrations, and odometers. Violations were discovered during an investigation of multiple no-title complaints from consumers. Failing to make application for title and registration within 15 days of delivery for 112 customers since agreeing to an earlier probation sentence. This, according to the state of Michigan. Also, committing fraudulent acts in connection with selling or otherwise dealing in vehicles where Carvana employees admitted to destroying title applications and all applicable documents pertaining to the sale of 3 vehicles that were sold to customers, and Carvana took the vehicles back. And failing to maintain odometer records, along with improperly issuing temporary registrations, failing to have records available for inspection during reasonable or established business hours, possessing improper odometer disclosure records on which the odometer disclosure had been signed on behalf of the purchaser, and violating terms of a probation agreement 127 times. That's a company I want to do business with.
yeah.
Well, that's the vending machine people, aren't they? So
Yes.
it's kind of like when
a
you put your-
Carvana spokesperson said the state's action represents another example of gross regulatory overreach that illegally harms both the company and Michigan residents. Yeah, because you can't get your car because you can't get a.
you get screwed
you're
by
getting
Carvana.
Yeah, exactly. So Carvana is facing similar scrutiny in Illinois. Retailer found success with its online used car retail model during the COVID-19 pandemic, but has racked up financial losses as demand falls because of higher used vehicle prices and rising interest rates. Company lost $945 million in the first half of this year.
They lost almost $1 billion.
Sorry.
Well, it's kind of like when you put your quarter in the vending machine and you're expecting sour cream and onion potato chips, and you get a regular M&Ms. That's what Carvana's doing.
That never happens to me.
Well, that's it for this
you get
hour of the
hellos.
In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We have
They
more
get nothing.
right after this.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeartRadio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
This is your go-to place for entertaining car talk, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, live from the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social. Just ahead, we get a taste of some high-end hot rods.
All right.
And I do mean high-end hot rods.
Oh, man, I'm waiting.
Jeff has a feature on well, we already did that, the worst potholed cities in America. I guess we got through all of the things that we needed to get caught up on, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe.
Okay,
I
good.
got two.
And
Have you? Are you caught up?
I've got something in case we got to.
Oh, no, that's not. I just want to make sure that we get in all the stuff that we need
Gotcha.
to get in. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. We've got in this hour Conrad's Car Clinic, and we also got stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
And the fabulous David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. It's been an interesting show. This car social events, Cruise In is what it is. It's different for us in the fact that, traditionally we have older model cars. And for the most part, these cars here are late model. Now, the 65 truck is the exception here, and it's beautiful.
The 63 Chevy, but pretty much the rest of this are all
Late
less
model
than 5
or
years,
brand
3
new.
to 4,
yeah,
5 years old.
Exactly.
But that's the type of vehicle John's working on.
Yeah.
A lot of the vehicles he works on are brand new because they've, you see some in here with paper tags on them.
Or still have the window sticker on them that the dealership sent over here. John, this is so you're getting, actually, this is the inside of the shop behind us. And we set this up like this so you can see what takes place here. What you can't see over here, John's got special lighting for all of the wraps and the details that they need really good lighting to see exactly what they're doing. There's a car right here that's got a white trunk lid. Well, guess what? The white trunk lid is the actual paint of the car. Now, the person that bought the car didn't like it white, and they wanted a gray car. Well, that gray that you see on the car is a wrap. It's not painted gray. That's a wrap. It does, doesn't it?
And it's also a paint protection wrap. John was telling me earlier off air that is a new product that they started carrying. That's a paint protection wrap that is colorized.
And I think that you'd have to ask John how long it takes him to wrap an entire car.
The young lady that
Days.
does it. Yeah, there you go.
Say that again?
Days.
He said days to do it.
It's not a one-day deal. It's probably 3 or 4 days to do it.
Yeah.
Because
and it's not cheap. I mean, let's set the record straight
it's
here.
cheaper than repainting a car. You could change the color with a wrap at substantially less than it would cost to repaint the car.
Correct. Yeah.
And you could take the wrap off without doing any damage to the paint.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted
That's the beauty
to,
of
you
it.
could have a different paint job on the car once a year. But as many times as you want, if that's what the case is. That's a really good-looking BMW there. When I first saw that huge grille on these new BMWs, wasn't so hot on it, but it's grown on me. Now I think it's really good-looking.
Looks like an Alpha.
That's what it really looks
It's like
like.
an Alfa Romero.
That front end.
Or a Caesar Romero.
Don't tell
wears
that to
it
the
much
BMW
better.
Caesar
people.
Romero.
It looks like Caesar Romero.
I think that
He was the-
maybe that they probably have more success if they change the name of the company to Caesar Romero.
He was the Joker?
He was the Joker, yeah.
The original Joker.
The original
Among other
Joker.
things, but yeah.
What do you got down there, Mr. Mars?
Well, I have this interesting gentleman down here named Mr. Ron Dickey. He has a Corvette here.
Oh, Ron,
Hi.
man, I can relate to. I too have a Corvette, but I bet you
Cool.
yours is newer than mine.
Probably. Could be. I mean,
Huh?
Could be.
Yeah.
2021.
I have a 2001.
Oh,
It's 20
okay.
years
yeah.
newer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's old like me, but so is this your first Corvette?
Yes, sir, it is. I have also old cars. I got a 99 F250 and a 2001 BMW sitting at home. So that's why I was due for a new car, you know. So
You
I
just
got-
you gave yourself a little present.
Right. A retirement gift to myself because the company didn't give me the gold watch, so I bought the Corvette for myself.
That works for me. Yeah. So how do you like your Corvette?
Oh, I love it.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, that thing's a beast.
Now, did you have another Corvette earlier on?
No, I've always had some kind of sports cars, though, all through, growing up and everything.
What kind?
Well, I had a Mercury Cougar XR7,
Yes.
with a 351
That's
Cleveland
cool.
in it, and also I had a Formula 350. I had a 350 engine in it, blew that up, put a 400 in it, and everything. Headers, 4-barrel. It was pretty bad for its day.
Did you grow up here
And then I had a Trans Am. I grew up in Panama City, Florida, but I moved here in 1980.
as quick as you could?
Yeah, in 1980. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got out of the Navy, and then there was no jobs really around Panama City to use my skills and stuff. So I came up here, and I was hired once I got here. A week later, after I got here, I got a really decent job.
And you got and a decent car soon after
Yeah.
because you're a car guy.
Yeah, and I got a Trans Am, and everything. I had a Trans Am back in the day too, a black Trans Am, really nice.
The special edition,
It was
the Bandit car.
It was the one that
Smokey and the Bandit
No,
car?
no, the other one that the Knight Rider type car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the first
yeah,
year
yeah.
they came out. I got one of those.
Right.
All blacked out. It was all murdered out before that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me what you like about the new Corvette.
Oh, I like the way it gets out of the hole. You got the engine sitting back there. You got the transmission sitting back there. You got the gas sitting back there over those rear wheels, and they don't sit there and spin on the line like all these other cars that's got all this horsepower, but they can't get it, on down the road.
Yep.
They'll sit there and burn their tires up on the line. Mine just it'll
That's
wiggle
good.
a little bit and then hook up and go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you buy it new?
yeah,
Bought it brand new.
yeah.
And have you done anything under the hood?
No, not under the hood really. No,
Yeah.
I put a bunch of bolt-on, little things like screens. and,
Knickknacks.
You know.
In other words, you've been perusing the J.C. Whitney catalog, haven't you?
Well, I put rocker panels on there. I put new wheels. I had the wheels sitting in the garage for the day when it got there.
Did
know.
ya?
I had to wait a full year for it, but the wheels are already sitting there. I changed them out the very next day.
So what color is it?
It's a red mist.
Okay.
It just
I think I just saw it drive in.
Just
So it's
outside of the
and you have the center roof panel off.
not on mine.
Okay.
No, that
No,
was
there was
somebody
two of them,
else's.
Conrad.
That's
Two
the
of them.
convertible that's out
Yeah.
there. Mine's a coupe where you can see the engine in the back. I kind of like that, being able
I
to
do
see
too.
the engine in the back.
Yeah.
I liked the nacelles that's on the Corvette, the convertible, but I also like to be able to see my engine and
Oh,
keep
yeah,
it clean,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
work on it. I mean, if I want to work on it, I don't have to take out 15 screws to get to it, So,
Yeah. Well,
So
have you had any work done here on the Corvette?
oh yeah, they completely covered it in PPF. They put ceramic coating on the PPF itself, and then also they put all the window tint on the inside of the car.
How did you find out about this place? Because
Well-
it's kind of like the best kept secret.
Well, I had a year. Yeah, I know. I had a year to go around looking at other dealerships or people that did this kind of work. And
Yeah.
I didn't really like some of the work that I saw. I'd
Sure.
see particles or whatever up underneath the plastic, and I said, "What are you going to do about that?" And they're, "Oh, that's okay." And I'm like, "No, it's not.
Right.
It's not okay with
Right,
me."
exactly. Yeah.
And then I came down here to John's shop, and he said, "Yeah, just go around, look around back there, see how they work,
Yeah.
see the quality of their work." And I was really impressed. So I knew that as soon as I got my car, I was going to be bringing it down here.
Yeah.
I'd gone to two other shops out here in Houston, and I just didn't like the quality of their work,
Right.
like I do here at this
Yeah.
place. I was really impressed, and within a week of having that car, I had it down here because I don't want to pick up any chips or dings.
Yeah,
or
get it
anything.
done quick.
Yeah, before
Before something gets damaged.
Yeah, like this morning, for instance, I was coming down the road, and here's one of these gravel. Well, it's like a landscape truck, right? And it's full of gravel, and it had screens on the side, and all this gravel's just bouncing out.
Oh,
the
no.
side. Yeah, I had to slam on my brakes because you could see the rocks just flying down.
Yeah, they're coming at you. It's
yeah,
there, it's an
and
attack.
so my whole front end was peppered with rocks this morning. You know, I had to get out there and wipe, but it just wiped off. You know, all that stuff. All that.
Well, that's the paint protection film.
Right,
yeah.
it's a PPF. You know, yeah, it just allowed me to get out there and just wipe that off, and it wasn't no chips out of the paint. Okay, it's just PPF.
Well, in that one instance, you got your money's worth out of
Right,
getting the
right.
film
It was.
put on it.
It must have been 200 or 300 rocks just bouncing down the highway.
Oh, my God,
And I was
I'd
doing
have
about
died.
45 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and I was like, I was panicking, dude.
Yeah, where are you going to go? You
Yeah, I
know, the
was trying to
traffic
put
and
on the
everything.
brakes, and yeah.
What part of town do you live in?
I live in League City.
League City?
Yeah,
No, so you had a pretty
Wow.
good drive to get over
yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, I come over here all the time, anyways. I like mountain biking, and this place got great mountain bike trails.
I
so-
drove the C8 this morning out of here, and I covered it in drool.
It is a fun car to drive, you know. Yeah.
You like the cockpit?
Oh yeah. I used to be in the Navy, and I worked on fighter planes. Okay, and sitting in that cockpit of this thing reminds me of sitting in the cockpit of a
It
fighter
does, yeah.
plane.
It
I
does.
worked on F4s. You know, that's
Oh,
how
yeah.
old I am. But anyways, yeah. So this thing wraps around you just like being in the cockpit of an airplane.
Yeah.
You know, and I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any problems with it at all?
Not
Have
at
you
all. No.
Not had to
No.
take the back to Chevy dealer for anything?
No, nothing at all. No,
Do,
it's
do you
great.
beat on it every now and then?
What?
Do you beat on it every now and then? Do you drive it pretty hard?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I probably shouldn't say on the air how fast I've had it, but you know.
No, go ahead.
No,
we
no.
don't. We don't.
We
We
won't-
don't.
we
We don't
won't
want to
tell.
know
No,
where.
No, don't.
Okay. Well, I've had it up to 158.
Have you?
You know, yeah.
And it still had more to go.
Yeah. It just takes a long time. You know, you have to have a long straightaway or something
Sure.
to
Get
be able
wound
to
up.
open it. And no traffic, okay? I'm not going to endanger anybody else's life, you know. I was out on the road where there was nobody else out there, you know, but
Sure.
myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I find opportunities like that, yeah, I like to open it up. But
Yeah.
if there's traffic out there, I'm not going to be doing
course.
speeds like that
Yeah.
out there, you know.
Yeah. So, have you been to any other car shows? Do you do any cruise-ins?
Yeah, I don't know. I was up in Tomball a couple of weeks ago, you know, up there, and yeah, there's one this afternoon down in League City. I'll probably go back to that one when I leave here, you know. But yeah,
Car guy.
I go to.
Yeah, so you drive the car pretty regularly.
Oh yeah.
How many
yeah.
miles you got on it?
It's only got about 5,000 right now, but that's
Still quite a
because
bit.
I just had it for a little over a year, and I was working most of that year. But now that I'm retired, I hope to put a lot more miles on it. You know, I just retired this year, so I'm going to be putting a few more
Well,
miles on it.
I told the boys that when I bought my Corvette, it had 16,000 miles on it. This was 5 years ago, and it now has 30,000 miles on it. So I've been driving
Doubled it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Granted, it's 20 years old. It actually has a key. You put it in the lock cylinder and you turn it to start it, and all of the old school stuff. But I will say that it does not have Bluetooth. It doesn't have any of that. But I've gotten around that with some little gizmos that plug in the cigarette lighter, and I thoroughly enjoy driving it. I
Have
really
you hit
do.
yours to the drag strip?
No, I haven't tracked it at all. No, nope.
I went to.
I use every stop sign kind of like a little drag strip. Just launch it out of those, you know.
Practice.
Do you use
Practice.
the launch? Do you
Yeah.
use the launch control?
Oh yeah.
Make a big difference in its ability to
Yeah,
launch?
I've gotten it down to like 3.2, 3.3, somewhere around there. I haven't gotten it down to the 2.9, you know.
Yet.
I haven't figured that one out yet. But that's what they say it'll do, 2.9 seconds, 0 to 60. But I haven't gotten it down there yet, you know.
But you keep trying.
Yeah, I'll keep trying.
Practice, man. You gotta
Practice
keep
makes
practicing.
perfect. Right.
So I was wondering, like Don put the miles, on the vehicle and stuff. Now that you're retired, do you see yourself doing that in that car?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely
I
plan.
mean, like maybe go to Colorado or someplace.
Well, I've even wanted to go up there and do the Three Sisters or whatever it is up there.
Twisted Sisters.
Twisted Sisters, yeah, up
Yeah.
there above San Antonio. Yeah, I want to do that in my car.
Yeah,
You know,
oh, yeah.
just leave early one morning, go drive out that way, you know,
That's
when it's
cool.
nice and cool out, and just make
I
the
went to
loop
a
and come
couple of
back.
events
drive.
this year myself. One was the Hot Rod Tour of Texas, and it was all different kinds of cars. And there was a nice contingent of Corvettes that we all kind of hung together because that's what you do in a cruise. And it was really a cruise, and we went from Victoria up to Fort Worth over a couple of days. Had a great time with that. Then I wound up at the Corvette Invasion, which you would have really liked. It was in Bastrop.
Oh, okay.
And it was a car show, cruise-in kind of thing at the convention center. And it was a judged show if you're into that sort of thing. And they also had a very interesting Sunday morning. We all went to the Circuit of the Americas and got to drive Circuit of the Americas track.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there were some sections there that we got it up pretty good
Got
rate
some
of
speed
speed
in
and got some nice cornering in, and that is really a fun place. And so I'll personally invite you to that in the spring of next year.
Circuit of the Americas?
Circuit
oh,
of the
I
Americas.
would love that.
Wouldn't you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they have events occasionally where Corvette clubs will rent the track on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and it's tons of fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that you can and cannot do there, but everybody behaves themselves. You know, we're all adults in this deal.
But you can get the feel real quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm fixing to go to a Ron Fellows driving school in February.
Oh,
you know.
out in Vegas.
Lucky
Yeah, out
you.
in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I signed up for it. I signed up for it this year, but they didn't have anything available until like next year because there's so many Corvette drivers trying to get into this school
Oh,
right
that'd
now.
be a great. That'll be a great trip.
Well, that was
So-
one thing about the Corvette Invasion. I was really surprised at the number of C8s that were there. A ton. The majority of the Corvettes that were there were C8s.
Really?
There may have been, I don't know, maybe a dozen C5s like mine, C4s, C3. The earlier models that you get, fewer and fewer showed up. And so it was interesting. And I went back to when I started in the Corvette thing, if you will, back in 77. And back then, cars were 3-4 years old, everybody that was in the Corvette club. And, you know, time moves on, and you got to get me a new Corvette.
Well, and I think that in the drivability. I mean, because you remember the even the C2s, had the big steering wheels and stuff.
Cars have changed.
Yeah. And as far as like a pleasure, that's the reason I was asking about the pleasure there. If you wanted to go to Florida or someplace like that. I mean, you've been to Alabama a couple of times in yours,
Right.
And apparently traveled really nice. And I imagine a new one. That's why I was wondering about
Oh,
the
yeah.
new one.
Oh, yeah, it's very comfortable. I got the GT2 seats in it and everything, but, yeah, it's got adjustable lumbar support, or the side bolsters and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. Everything's adjustable.
Yeah, November 5th, there's going to be another Corvette event out at Circuit of the Americas, and it's the Corvettes Invade the Vintage Racing Association weekend, November 5th. So if you're looking for something to do, that Saturday may be worth going out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, since you're retired and don't have anything to do and coming to
I
fun
wouldn't put
events.
it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just jealous, that's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you when you go to that driving school? You going to drive out there?
No, I'm flying out to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, so I'm going to stay there a week and just rent a car and then drive the rental car out there to the track.
I've driven to Vegas twice, and it's an interesting drive, and I think
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not an interesting drive. It's a pain in
boring
the ass.
drive.
It's terrible.
It's a boring drive.
You get on the other side of El Paso, and it's done.
You get it on the
Yeah.
other side of San Antonio.
Well,
and it's
pretty
down.
much, yeah.
Yeah. But you talk about finding some wide open highways. There are some wide open
okay, I
highways
got you.
out in West Texas and even in Nevada.
Yeah.
Or
I'd like
Nevada.
to get it up
How
to
do you say
190 one time just to say that I did it, and then I'd be, my curiosity would be satisfied, I think.
I've
after
done
just
it a
doing
few times. I drove both my kids out to California to go to college from here, and I would avoid it in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
I would much rather fly than drive that.
Right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fly out there and just spend a week out there and just, go see some shows, do a little gambling,
You can
whatever.
rent Corvettes out there. You can rent all kinds of things out there.
Yeah. So
Well,
I'm looking
thanks,
forward to
Mike.
it.
You're trying to, spend his money for him now.
Trying to help him out. He's
Trying to help
retired.
him
He
out.
just retired. He doesn't know how to do this
That's
yet.
right. That's right.
We've had time to play with
No,
this.
you have.
Spend all our money.
Yeah, we're all still working.
I'm kind of working.
Well, that you are. That's right. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for stopping by. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Beautiful car.
Oh, well, thank
Yeah,
you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very much.
Y'all have a good day.
You do the same. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. I have a couple of things that I wanted to get in, if I may. Did we do the racing calendar?
Yep, we
did.
did the racing calendar.
Okay, just wanted to
We
make
haven't
sure.
done history yet or Conrad's Corner.
Oh,
but-
well, you know what? I think that now would be you choose which one you'd want
Well,
to
let's do history.
History it is.
Some cool things in history.
History.
So this week in automotive history, Chrysler sells the Chrysler Building in New York City.
When?
in
50.
1953. Now, remember,
Why?
the
Yeah,
Chrysler
it's
building
beautiful.
was built in 1930. It was completed in 1930, and Chrysler owned it, and then eventually in 1953 they sold it, so it doesn't belong.
And then it was
One
recalled.
Of the most, and it was recalled. One of the most gorgeous Art Deco buildings in New York City. Really, all that stainless steel work on the top of it. The odd thing is they completed the Chrysler building in May of 1930, and then in May of 1931, the Empire State Building was completed. The Chrysler building is 1,046 feet high to the top of the antenna spire. The Empire State Building is 1,400 feet high to the top of its spire as well, and it's only 10 blocks away. So Chrysler wanted the tallest building in New York, and he had it for a year, and then ended up selling it in 53. In 1957,
Because it was a little short.
the Edsel Show was a 1-hour special on CBS designed to promote the Ford Motor Company's new Edsel line. It premiered in 1957 in place of Ford's usually sponsored program, The Ed Sullivan Show. The Edsel Show was hosted by Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, Rosemary Clooney, and Louis Armstrong,
Wow.
and Lindsey Crosby, with performances by the Four Preps and Bob Hope. Pretty big.
There was some major money there.
Oh, yeah. Well, for its day, major money.
I was
Today,
hoping for
it's-
Topo Gigio.
no, that was on the regular show. But it was even earned an Emmy nomination for the best single program of the year. The Edsel didn't earn anything. But yeah, they had the Edsel Show. I thought that was kind of interesting. In 1964, while trying to set a new 1-mile land speed record, Craig Breedlove inadvertently set another record when he lost control of the Spirit of the America car on the Bonneville Salt Flats and set a skid record of 3.5 miles.
underwear.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
And they
Yeah.
said he was just touching the 400-mile-an-hour mark.
He
Sure
was
he
touching
was.
cotton.
Touch and go.
In 1978, Lee Iacocca was ousted from Ford Motor Company, who eventually went on to lead Chrysler to great success. In 1983, motorsports racer and entertainer Travis Pastrana was born. Not Pastrana.
Pastrana.
Was born in 1993. So what is that? 29 years ago?
Why do you have to do math? Just do whatever.
In 1993, the first Camry was introduced by the Toyota Motor Company.
Oh, really?
And it was a replacement for the Corona sedan.
And that was in '93.
Yep.
I thought it was before that.
Maybe, I'm sorry, 83. My
Dun,
fault.
dun, dun.
In 1997, less than 3 weeks after breaking the elusive 700-mile-an-hour land speed barrier, British fighter Andy Green set a new land speed record in the thrust supersonic vehicle, a jet-powered car along a 1-mile course, and went 729 miles an hour on the Black Rock Desert.
And what was it called?
The
Skid 2.
thrust supersonic vehicle, and it had twin jet engines.
Oh,
on
yeah,
it.
they're huge.
And the driver kind of sat in between them. I guess kind of tightly sphinctered.
Ain't nothing coming out of there.
Or going in.
Yeah.
And that
Nice.
was this week in automotive history.
Yeah, I bet it
Good
was.
thing.
Let me see that. So, tightly sphinctered. Is
No,
that actually
no,
written
it's not
on there?
written
It's
on there.
he wrote
Oh,
that
he's
on there.
ad-libbing.
That was my ad lib.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
So that's this week in automotive history.
All right. Well, great. It's great to know. I thought this was an interesting story. Some may find it completely boring, and well, just show you what my taste is like. Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation launched a lease program this past Monday called Signature
Give it to 'em.
Flex that has customers start with 5,000 miles per year and add more as needed throughout the life of their contract. The flexible lease is available on the Rogue Sport crossovers of the Pathfinder SUV. They expect to offer the Signature Flex on additional models early next year. Jim DeTrudy, Vice President of NMAC Sales and Marketing, said customer data shows a desire for lower mileage leases. Isn't that interesting? I find that extremely interesting because, usually 3 and 36 is the
Yeah, and the typical lease mileage allowance was 15,000 miles, and then
Per year.
Yeah, right. And then they considered a low mileage lease, because that's when I was working with GM and I was doing training, a 12,000 mile lease. Now they're talking about a 5,000 mile lease.
Think of this. So a mom mobile that gets, church and grocery store, 5,000 miles, okay. Plus,
I believe it.
And then the dealer gets the car back
Super low miles.
15,000 miles as opposed to 36,000 miles. Yeah, it's almost like a demo.
Well, Angela's Mercedes GLC 300 is a 2018, and she has 14,000 miles on it.
There you go.
It's 4 years old.
yeah.
So you know that you're going to save money if you're going to lease it with low miles and turn it back in like that.
Can you lease a Tesla? Can you lease an
yeah.
EV?
Yes.
Maybe not from Tesla, but
I want to say probably from Tesla at a pretty fair rate as well.
You think?
Leasing, yeah, because leasing, if you understand how leasing works, is so let's say you buy, and I'm just going to throw numbers out there, you're leasing a $100,000 vehicle. Well, the finance company says that $100,000 vehicle at the end of 2 years still has 75% of its value
Right.
left. So the lease, you pay the interest on $100,000, and then you pay the depreciated value, that $25,000, and you add that to the interest payment, and that's your lease payment. That's basically how a lease works. So you pay the depreciation value, but you pay interest on the whole car. So, cars that carry a high residual value can have a pretty low lease rate.
interesting.
I got to 0 times. I got to carry the 2, and it'll all work.
Ask
That's
Ainsley.
it. The In-Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeart app, Facebook, and YouTube, along with InWheelTime.com. When we can get them all synced up
Yeah.
and working at the right time
diggity.
and the right place. Podcasts are available on your favorite podcast channel because we record the show, bust it up, and then put it on Podcast America. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeartRadio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
Live from Gulf Coast Auto Shield's Car Social. Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Live this Saturday morning. Just ahead, we got more stuff coming. We got stuff coming up. Stuff. We got stuff coming up. As Mars is hobbling across the floor.
Great
here.
Prairie.
He
That's
broke
it.
his brake foot.
That's what it
He's
is.
trying to play Twister on these squares out here.
Conrad's going to have the In Wheel Time Car Clinic. We'll have this week's automotive news along with some really fine car talk. We invite you to stay tuned. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin and a guest cameo appearance by our chief engineer and head bottle washer, David Ainsley.
Why is he a bottle washer and not a potentate?
He could be a potentate.
No, I thought Don was a potentate.
I'm not a potentate of anything.
Don's the Grand Poobah.
No, well, let's see. That was from the Flintstones.
Flintstones, the Grand Poobah.
Well, I think David's probably the only potent
As
one
opposed
here.
to the Grand Dragon, which is another
Yes,
organization.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm not potent.
But David's potent.
You know, we could have a whole show just on this,
But let's
I
not.
don't think we will. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. It is great to be with you. We apologize for those that tuned in earlier.
And we weren't there.
On Facebook and on YouTube. I wonder if we were live on the In Wheel Time app.
No, we were not.
We were not. Okay, great.
Heitzman tagged
well,
in on
we
that.
just screwed it all up. And
We'll have to come back.
And we'll blame Mars.
Well,
because it
we
works.
always do. And he takes it like a champ. Mars, it's all your fault.
So
He's out there.
did you hear that Nissan pulling out of Russia? They're closing their
Yeah,
operations.
did you
in
see how
Russia.
much they paid for got for the plant?
They sold it for €1.
€1.
I'd have bought it.
What'd
I'd
you?
have given them €2. Double their.
Oh, yeah, well, I can name
So
that
they
in
sold
3
all of
years.
their assets in Russia because they just wanted to get out because of what's going on. They sold all their assets to Russia. But there is an agreement where they can buy it back within 6 years. But knowing Russia, it's going to be more than €1.
Yeah, and it's probably not going back anyways.
No,
They're
I don't
turning
think so.
something out. Tank factory or
Tank
whatever.
factory.
Yeah.
What?
No, Nissan is still probably the largest CVT operation.
Why would you ask that question, David?
She's got one.
CVTs.
Well, the earlier ones were troublesome. The more recent ones are less. You got to think, though, Subaru is almost actually, I'm going to say Subaru is exclusively CVT. They still sell, I think there's an Impreza they sell with a
And they
shifter
still,
in it.
I was just going to say, they still sell at least one car with a shifter in it. Well, what about the WRX STI?
Well, that's the Impreza. That's the shifter one.
Oh, that's the Impreza?
Yeah.
I don't ever refer to it as an Impreza.
But as far as volume of cars, Nissan is probably number one in CVTs. Subaru would be number two. Audi actually sells quite a few CVTs. All Toyota Priuses are CVTs, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a pretty large population of CVTs out there.
By the way, I'm driving another hybrid this week that I'll review next week.
And a lot of hybrids are CVTs. You said your Lexus was.
Yes, and this Lexus out here has the same motor and engine combination as the LC500 has. It's a V6 with the hybrid technology, which is basically the same.
Synergy Drive from Toyota.
Pardon me. Yes. It's from the one that's used in the Prius. Yeah, proven.
Very well proven platform.
And this is a very nice car. I just
Again,
love.
very orange.
It's the same color orange. It's the same color orange.
I mean, like that
They must have had a sale on
vivid
paint.
orange.
It is. This thing rides so good. It's amazing. You know, I drive all these different cars, and granted, I'm not as young and youthful as I used to be, but I really don't like a bumpy ride. And a lot of cars today have bumpy is probably not the correct terminology. A stiffer ride than I would prefer in the car that it is married to. You know, the ride quality. The Lexus they nail it.
Yeah,
every,
they get it right.
Every
They get
single
it right.
time. They get it right. The quality, the all of the stuff that they make, I got one down here. Thank you. It just top notch. The doors fit right.
Well,
They shut right. It just is. It's quality stuff.
And a Lexus dealer is typically an exquisite experience as well.
Let me tell you something. So I suggested, well, one of the pilots that I work with, his wife's got an old beater car, and she really needs a new car. And he said, well, she's kind of interested in the Lexus RX. And I said, well, man, if she's interested in the Lexus RX, go for it, because that's a nice vehicle. So I don't remember what Lexus dealership it was in AutoNation when. I think it was right down the street over here at 59 and the Beltway.
It's not AutoNation. It's either Sonic or Group One.
But it's owned. This one is owned by AutoNation.
Okay.
At any rate, MSRP, order it. We'll sell it to you for MSRP, which that's good.
Yep.
It's going to take a while because the 2023 is being built today in Japan. They got to have to take the time to get inventory over here. They got a waiting list of 100 for the RX, the new RX. I said, get it. Just buy it. You'll not have any problems with it. And I've seen pictures of it, and it's beautiful. Very different take on the current grill that they currently have. You know, the great big
Spindle
grill. That's still there, but they've kind of pared it back a little bit and made it look different. It's interesting. When you see it, you're going to go, oh, wow.
Good change.
Very much so. Okay, Mr. Mars.
You know, the whole time we've been here, there's been this 1966 Chevy truck kind of over here behind us.
Yes.
You know, it's bagged, it's dropped, it's tubbed, it's got lots of things on it. Well, that truck just happens to belong to Ainsley here, and he was gracious enough to spend a couple of minutes telling us about it.
Is that your first name?
That's my first name, yeah.
Because this is David Ainsley here.
Yeah. How do you spell the last name?
Ainslie.
That's it. Yeah. Which is actually a little more rare because it's usually Ley, right? So that's my first name. Absolutely. It's not a joke.
So Ainsley. I love it.
Go.
Anyway, so tell us about the truck. It's beautiful. We love it. It's very unique and different. Have you owned it long?
Yeah, I've had it about 2 years now. It's a 66 GMC. It is paint. A lot of people think it's a wrap, so it's a flat paint. I bought it out of California, probably 80% done, and it was already dropped. It had kind of an interior, so I had to refinish the interior, put in the new bed, and
Great job
front
on the bed.
fenders and a lot of little detail work.
Man,
to get it right.
You did that.
Yeah,
you definitely did that.
I paid money to have other people do it.
That's okay. I can relate to that too.
I'm an audio guy, so I did all the tuning and picked out all the speakers and amplifiers. So
well, wait just a minute. Let's stop right there. Let's talk about that. Because today new cars really, compared to the way it used to be, really have some kick butt audio systems.
Yeah, it's very difficult today to improve on the sound quality of cars, right?
Yep.
And so if I look around here, almost every car has a multi-channel amplifier that's sufficient, but more importantly, they have DSP, so digital sound processing. So they've been tuned by the factory. So there is an audio expert, whether it was at Bose, if that car came with a Bose system, or Harman Kardon, that they specifically designed that system for that car. So it's
It's
very
a lot
difficult.
more than just the audio system working there.
Exactly.
It's the
exactly.
acoustics inside the car, the windshield where the seats are.
They
all
pick
that.
out the drivers of the speakers specifically for that car. They put multiple microphones in that car to make sure it sounds good in every seat. So, yep.
Well,
And
plus,
so what-
plus the multiplexing of the head of the radio as it integrates into the electronics of the rest of the car.
That's a challenge.
Makes it quite difficult.
In the 80s and 90s, you would just change out the head unit, and it had a little MOSFET chip or amplifier, and that's all you did. Today, you can't do that. You'd have to put in multiple modules to make your aftermarket amplifier work with your existing
So
head
what
unit.
did you do with your truck?
All this is, if you look in the truck, it's got an old shaft-style radio, and it's just there for looks. So I don't even use that. There's a Bluetooth module underneath the seat, and I just Bluetooth from my phone to the amplifier. Yep. So trying to keep it looking original.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
So if you want FM, then you
don't.
you don't want it. Okay.
You don't want it.
Okay. And same thing with AM?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you ever use things like the iHeartRadio app or anything like that?
For me, I only use it'll either be Tidal, Pandora, or Spotify. So just music streaming apps. Tidal being probably the best sound quality, and then Spotify and Pandora.
Tidal.
Tidal. Tidel. Yep. It's kind of expensive. It's $30 a month, but you get lossless.
But if you are an audiophile,
Exactly.
it's worth the money.
I use it for work because I'm into audio and I design speakers and sell speakers.
You need to meet this Ainsley here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ran him
Well,
off.
he's here somewhere. He's the chief engineer of several radio stations. in
Okay.
town. So
Okay.
y'all two, yeah, be a
You
good
guys
thing.
live in that world.
Yeah,
Nerdy audio guys.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So let me ask you: do you keep this vehicle here, or is it just here for today's
No,
event?
I dropped it off to get the front bumper wrapped and protected because it's a gloss black front bumper, and it being
kind
so
of like the back one then.
exactly it being so low to the ground is susceptible to rock chips, and so I said, hey, can
Well,
you
that's a
wrap
good
this?
idea.
Can you wrap this? And he said, well, yeah, I'll do it. When do you want to pick it up? I said, are you open Saturday? He said, actually, yeah, we have a car show. I said, well, just keep it for the car show, and I'll pick it up. So it's here for that, and
Everybody
that's
stops
really
to
it.
look at it.
What's funny is you see all these exotic, expensive cars, and the employees, when I drove this thing in, they all stopped what they were
Absolutely.
doing and looked at this
Yes.
old truck, and they were freaking out, and they said, this is the coolest thing that
Yeah.
we've ever had in here. And I said, you guys are spoiled rotten, because you get to work on all these brand new cars, and this is
Well,
a quarter of the price of probably what you
Yeah,
And-
but
and-
it's
but
straight.
they-
It's
yeah. Well, this is
But it's unique and different.
Yeah,
That's what they
Exactly.
say.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
I've got other fun cars. I've got a Huracan and I've got a Tesla, but the old cars have more character.
Well, how do you like your Tesla?
I love it, and I'm a gas guy.
Yep.
Right? I love the sound. I actually like the smell. I like tinkering, working on them, and so I said, well, you know what? I'll test drive one. My friend had one, and it blew me away.
What is
I
it that,
do-
besides the acceleration, what blew you away? Or should I say, in
It's-
addition
yeah,
to the acceleration?
it is just super easy to drive. So if you've ever driven an electric go-kart, you just jump in and literally mash the throttle and take off.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do in that car. It actually knows if you want to go in reverse or forward. So if the car is, say, in your garage, it knows it cannot go any farther forward, and it knows the garage door is open, so it automatically can put it in reverse for you. And so just simple things like that. Whenever you put on the blinker, it knows whenever you've changed lanes and to turn the blinker off for you. So it's just a smart car. It makes other cars kind of feel dumb after you've driven them. And, of course, acceleration and low maintenance, you change the tires and windshield wiper blades, and that's it. You don't really change brake pads. There's no fluids to change. So it's a great daily driver. Do I have more fun driving, a gas car? Absolutely. But daily commutes, running to the grocery store, it's hard to beat.
Have you
yeah.
had any issues finding charging stations?
I only really just drive it around town, and it's got a 400-mile range,
Yeah.
so I just charge it at at home.
So do you have a 220 Charger at the house?
Yeah, 220. Yeah, I think that's a necessity. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you have a car like that.
Well, so how did you get to learn about John and Gulf Coast Auto Shield?
I'm trying to remember who. I think I was cold calling. I think another Expel dealer.
Right.
And he's an Expel dealer, and I have a '54 Bel Air that I needed some protection on, some paint protection. And no one wanted to do it. No one likes working on these old cars because whenever they do the paint protection film, it's a computer-generated cutout
Yeah.
Right.
of each part. So it makes it super easy. And not a lot of people want to do it by hand, especially on an old nice car. So one Expel dealer referred me to another one, and then ended up being referred all the way down to John. And John asked, "Where do you live?"
Up to John.
Yeah, up to John. There you go. They asked me. I asked him, "Where do you live?" And he asked me where do I live, and I told him, and he literally lives right around the corner from me.
How
He's my
funny.
neighbor. He says, "I'll be right over." And 2 minutes later, he drove over, and he looked at the car, and that's, we've been in love ever since.
Well, it's great to meet you. I ask these questions because curious as to, this is not one of these kinds of places. It's not a car dealership. So how do you learn about it without advertising?
Right.
Because it's basically word of mouth.
Well, listen, I've probably referred him to 4 or 5 people.
Right.
And I'm sure those people have referred him to 4 or 5 people as well. If you're this obsessive about a car and you care about, protecting it or doing the paint correction or making it look as good as possible, there's only a few people that you're going to trust, right?
At that level.
At that level. And then you're going to, when you're trying to find that person, you're going to reach out to idiots like me that are incredibly anal to say, who do you use?
Yeah.
And so I get people asking me all the time, who do you use for paint correction or PPF or tint?
Yes.
And I'll refer him. So it's almost like he doesn't need to do the advertising. Of course, it probably took him a little longer to get to this level, but just the word of mouth and, people that have cars like this typically have 3 or 4 other
Well,
ones.
it's funny you should say that because I remember I'm not as active in a Corvette club anymore, but at one time I was a long time ago. And that's how we all found out about who does what in town and what
Yep.
kind of job they do. And, get 3 or 4 guys in the Corvette club. Oh, yeah, go to him if you want, an engine tune-up or brakes or whatever. Oh, yeah, he's the performance guy. This is the header guy.
And there's never one shop that does it all.
Correct.
There's the suspension guy,
Yeah.
the tune, the exterior, interior, motor guy.
And every one of those guys that I was referred to by my other friends, same kind of thing like you've experienced. Well, yeah, I had a great experience over here. He did the wrap on the bumpers.
Don't ask him to paint anything. Just do the wrap.
Correct.
Don't
He
ask.
does- yeah.
Don't ask the suspension guy to do any motor work.
But John knows a paint guy.
know
that
who
is-
the subject matter expert
yeah,
is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
way up here when it comes
Absolutely.
to custom paint. And it's once you get into the mode of referring people, you feel confident. Okay, I'm going to refer you to this guy because I know personally that he's going to make it right.
So is John getting kickbacks on all these other referrals, you think?
No, he's pocketing every single piece of money that he can get a hold
But
of.
he's grateful for your referrals.
Yes, absolutely, he is.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great story, and thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thanks for having me over. Now, I got to start this thing, which it'll maybe disturb you guys because we got to take off.
Well, we've been disturbed for 20 or 30
Okay.
years
Yeah,
now.
so no, we're used to it. This is a car show, so please
Okay.
be our guest.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you.
we
for
know
having
it.
me
We
on.
know it whistles a little bit because the pulley has a bit of a whine to it until it gets warmed up.
Oh, not on this thing. It's just a LS.
Okay.
So yeah, I wish it did. I
No.
wish it did.
No, not the supercharger. I'm just talking about
Oh, gotcha.
one
gotcha,
of one of the
gotcha.
pulleys on the front of the motor.
Yeah, the belt squeals a
They-
little
Oh,
bit.
did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had started it earlier just
All
to
right.
get it in position. But
Yeah, I gotta
it
change the
sounds
belt out.
wonderful.
Besides the belt squeal.
Besides
Hopefully
the
it
belt
doesn't-
squeal,
Hopefully
yeah.
it doesn't squeal.
Well, thanks again, Ainsley. Appreciate
Okay,
you.
take care, guys.
You do the same.
Thank you.
Okay. Conrad's Car Clinic. We need to get this in before the end of the show because if we get this in, then we've done everything we were supposed to do today.
I have a question.
Well, hurry up.
After you give me that, because mine's just a question from the internet. Go ahead.
Okay. We're going to talk about the 3 pillars of maintenance success. Proper vehicle inspections is number 1. Regular inspections are the foundation of a good maintenance program. They're the first line of defense in identifying and developing problem with your vehicle. You know, the drivers tend to be quite attuned to the performance of their vehicle, and they can spot nuanced differences as the vehicle ages and miles up. And a lot of times those are signs of a pending problem. Not just a fault code, but as far as the drivability, the way the car is driving. You know, a small change in the way the vehicle sounds or handles can grab the driver's attention pretty quick. Make sure you pay attention to doing so. Means that you can identify and fix a problem early in the stage before it gets to the point where it's going to cause big damage.
So when everybody hears this loud motor, understand that he's backing the truck out.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then, you know, another one of the 3 pillars of maintenance success is technician engagement. You want to find a technician that's properly trained, that's going to perform quality preventive maintenance inspections on the vehicle whenever a vehicle is in the shop. These inspections need to be thorough and are a great way to identify and developing problems to follow up on the next maintenance visit to your car. So find a good shop that does a good multi-point inspection and pay attention to what they're telling you. That is the report card on your car, is that multi-point inspection. You're not doing it yourself, so trust a shop to do it for you. And then finally, the third pillar is diligence. You need to become more adept at spotting and developing problems and taking appropriate action. Depending on the nature of the problem, that could mean getting the vehicle into a shop quickly and allowing extra time in the shop for the vehicle to get that vehicle repaired, but also you want to get all your scheduled preventative maintenance services done. Maintenance is ongoing and needs to be performed regularly. You know, so it's not just a matter of setting it on time. You want to pay attention to what's going on. So you want to inspect the fluids, pay attention to the mileage, and pay attention to the history of the vehicle. You'd agree that fluids fail. Failed fluids lead to component failure. Fluid maintenance is cheaper than component replacement.
Oh, absolutely.
So change your fluids often, and that's going to save you long-term on the cost of your vehicle. The pillars of vehicle maintenance.
Very nice. As a matter of fact, I wrote Carolina Serratos an email. I think she's on vacation. But I wrote her a note, said, Carolina, got to look toward next month because it's time to bring the Corvette in for its annual state inspection and oil change. Do I need anything else? That was the question. I haven't heard back from her. That's why I say I think she's on vacation.
Yeah, she'll look at it and see.
Yeah.
Well, I know her and the family have gone to Disney every year except during COVID for a long time.
Yeah. Well,
that does sound good, doesn't it?
It does. The belt squeal is gone.
And he's raised it up a little bit. I think he needs to raise it up a little bit more.
Yeah, going over that
cracks. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been there.
When he cracks that ridge there.
Yeah, that is a beautiful truck. I love the see. Ooh, that's close.
That was close.
Told you.
That was close.
I told you.
But I love that flat black paint finish, and then the grill and the bumper
shiny.
Yeah.
Well, that's a GMC. Do you know what GMC stands for?
No.
God made Chevrolet.
Really? Is that what that means?
That's what it means. Yeah.
Well, where did you learn that? That's good.
I made that up.
Did you? God made Chevrolet. Okay. Well, that's good to know, and I appreciate you sharing these things with us. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address is info@nwheeltime.com. We had a problem earlier on in the broadcast today. Missed about an hour and a half of the show, but on YouTube and Facebook. But it's back up, and we're going to make some more change. We made some changes this week, and obviously more changes are in the offing.
So do we stay another hour and a half to make up?
You can. I'm not.
Don has a wedding to go to, but this time
not his.
But not his.
Not his. Oh no.
Oh, boy. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
So I was reading the GMC Hummer EV. The taillights cost over $3,000 a piece.
Why?
Just because they can, I guess. It's the embedded electronics that are in them and the LED system that's in them. So if you get rear-ended in one, it's going to cost about $6,100 to replace
Just
the
for the
taillights.
lights alone.
Just to replace the tail.
Anytime I get rear-ended, it's expensive.
And
But I
you
had a
get
question
rear-ended
from-
quite often, don't
Yeah,
you?
I had a question from the
You're
internet.
usually drinking, though.
Yes. What's the question?
So the guy, the listener has an 06 Ram truck, and it's got the 6-point whatever, the smaller V8 that
Well,
they
we have to
But
make
instead
this
of buying
quick.
a new truck, he's thinking about putting a 5.7 with an 8-speed in it. Not a Hellcat supercharged one, but just a regular upgrade versus buying a new truck. Because he can do that about $20,000 cheaper than a new truck right now.
Oh yeah, probably. I believe it. He's going to have to find the right shop to do it, or if he's skilled at it, because to put the Hemi and the 8-speed in, it's a lot of electronic work to go besides just the mechanical dropping in of the engine. You know,
Yeah,
but
computers and whatnot. Yeah.
it'd be a fun upgrade.
Well, and don't they make kits that help you do that sort of
Well,
thing?
you could-
But you have to marry the engine with the transmission with
Right.
the computer.
With the computer,
Right.
correct.
You'd have to buy the whole thing.
The whole
It's got to
shebang.
be all sequenced.
You know, and sometimes those can be $12,000-$15,000 by the time you package them all.
But you
together.
know what? I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you're gonna buy a hopped-up motor, you're gonna spend that kind of money anyway.
Well, you know, and then it's not just the hopped-up motor. Now you got to pay attention to the suspension,
Yes.
the differential assembly. All of those things have to be
And
upgraded.
notify your insurance company so they can tag you on that, too.
I don't
no,
know,
those stuff
I think
ain't
I'd
got
be
that.
notifying
Well, again,
anybody.
versus buying a $50,000 truck.
$50,000. Good luck finding a $50,000
Quick
truck.
break now. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Going to wrap things up right after this.
Starting to work on your Christmas calendar? Be sure to add the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In Saturday, December 17th. You'll want to attend Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's the Tailpipes and Tacos Christmas Edition, Saturday, December 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the Christmas season with friends and family at Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, December 17th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In-Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In-Wheel Time Car Talk.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. When you're on Facebook, check out our page, give us a like, tell your friends about us, share our junk if you would, please. We got lots of junk to share.
Yep.
You'll get Conrad's Unicorn Hunting features along with all things automotive all week long for free, including new car reviews, upcoming events, cruise-ins, racing events, and other goodies. You can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. In Wheel Time can also be heard and seen live on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com when it works. Every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central. 30-minute podcast available from your favorite podcast provider 7 days a week. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Manager and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin. For booking agent and podcast editor Mike Mars and Mr. Know-It-All, his royalty King Conrad DeLong. You listening to us on the bathroom over there, Conrad? I'm Don Armstrong. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is produced by Serene Pease, the car queen. Be sure and join us again next weekend for our 3-hour In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, Saturday, October 22nd, starting at 8 a.m. Central on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Have yourself a great weekend. Until next time, car lovers.